Hello and welcome back to Lorcana Villain. My name is Baker and today we're going to be taking a look at another deck profile. First of all, sorry for the delay in another upload. It wasn't my intention, but your boy's been very busy and it has been smouldering hot in the UK. I've got my fan on. Apologies if you can hear it. I'm going to try and edit it out for the actual episode. But yeah, it's hot. Your boy be smouldering, hence the vest. But we are going to today take a look at another deck profile, and this is Steel Amber Songs. Now, while my last deck profile was my 70 card Amethist Ruby Control was my own making, this is a deck by Steadfast, as you can see from the picture up here. But it actually comes from a video that Steadfast uploaded the other day with Ducky, who is the #1 rank on Pixelborn, and this is the deck that they managed to climb to #1 with, although theirs is Steadfast is slightly different to theirs. And we'll talk about those very couple of differences as we go through. But yes, this is a deck that is absolutely tearing up. A lot more so since the day before yesterday when the video went. It seems to be whenever Steadfast or any of the big Lorcana YouTubers upload a good deck or a big deck that's popular, suddenly it multiplies and it's everywhere on the ladder. So I basically make my meta call by whatever deck profile Steadfast or someone like that has uploaded. I'm like, right, okay, this is what's going to be popular on the ladder. Let's just run. Today I will just run whatever counters that. But yeah, I tried this one myself. I hadn't given it a go, and yeah, it feels pretty strong. So we're going to talk through it. Again, this is Steadfast list. I will talk about the couple of key card differences that Ducky had, but mostly I have been running Steadfast's list. It speaks to me a little bit more. But we will go through it. So first of all, we have 4 copies of Rapunzel, which is our dedicated healing. Nice two lore pips, 5 health. Lovely, lovely, lovely. We've got 4 Hakuna Matata. That's because this is a singing deck. We might as well go straight to Ariel, to be honest. The 3 cost, 2/3 with Singer 5, so she can sing all of our songs that we've got in this deck. And musical debut, when you put her on the field, you can immediately look at the top. Is it 5 cards of your deck? No, 4 cards of your deck. And find a song and add it to your hand. So that's always, being able to draw cards, obviously slightly different to a draw, but it's adding to, hopefully, as long as you're hitting a song, adding to your hand count if you do hit, plus just the fact that she can sit there and sing 5-cost songs. So that's why we've got the 4 Hakuna Matata. There are niche situations where you might use the Hakuna Matata. I have once. Usually it's ink. Rapunzel is our preferred healing, but not completely irrelevant. And then obviously we've got Grab Your Swords, which is the 5-cost uninkable from Steel. A character with 5 or more can exert to sing it for free, deal 2 damage to all opposing characters. And we have a lot of chip in this deck. That's very much the theme. And then we've also got 2 copies of Part of Your World, which is a card I did not rank very highly. But in this deck, it absolutely works. It's an extra song target for Ariel. Plus, it's really nice to be able to just grab back those Rapunzels for dedicated healing, grab back those beasts if you're against, especially if you're against an Amethist deck with all their multiple items, or Amethyst Ruby with all of theirs. So yeah, we get a lot of use out of Part of Your World. And it's one of our only uninkables, and that's what, along with Grab Your Swords. So that's one of the things that makes this deck just run smoothly, because you're generally always in the game. You don't normally have to struggle for ink. So yeah, we love to see it. Let's go back. We got the 7-cost Surfer Stitch, who is a 4/8. That nice big bulky 8 really does come in handy. 2 lore pips, but mostly here for the ability that when you put him down when you've got 2 other characters on the field, which you do a lot. This deck just likes to steamroll the field. You draw 2 cards, so it's more dedicated card draw. So lovely, lovely. We've got 4 copies of Captain Hook. He's our turn 1. Put him down, just start applying pressure with Challenger 2. Quest if you can get away with it, but sometimes you just end up in a stalemate if they put down their own 1-cost sort of 1/2 or 2/2, something like that. But still, he can go to 3/2 as well if he's challenging, so that's good. We've got 3 copies of You Have Forgotten Me. This is a card that I think is bordering on unfair. The more I play the game, the more I'm starting to think that You Have Forgotten Me is the most unfair card in the game. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that now. I might do a completely separate video for it, but nonetheless, we've got 3 copies of the extremely powerful You Have Forgotten Me. Just a free -1 to your opponent. You lose 1 card, they lose 2. Yes, you're paying for it, but you can. I just think I said I wasn't going to go into detail, but I think just it goes again. It punishes skill. I think You Have Forgotten Me punishes skill. I can see the argument that no, well, if you know they're playing yellow, the skill is making sure you have enough cards in your hand. But I think, generally speaking, I will go into more detail about this another time, but I feel like you have forgotten me Punish's skill. But nonetheless, it's very powerful, so we've got 3 copies in there. We talked about Part of Your World. We got 4 copies of the 3-cost Tink, which is lovely, just it's nice and bulky. Again, we want to be able to rush the field, and she can also help us draw cards if we need to, but mostly she's there for Big Tink to shift onto, which we see a 4 count, obviously. One of the most powerful cards in the game. Shifts for 4, 1 damage to everything the turn it goes down, and then an extra 2 damage on a character of your choice if she challenges something and banishes them. So yeah, really powerful card. We've got 4 copies of the Beast, which tends to be ink in a lot of games, but against Ruby Amethyst control, it's just so powerful getting rid of those mirrors, those pocket watches, those shield of valiances, or even against other decks that are running like Eye of the Fates and things like that. You know, items are a difference maker in our meta, so really important. Often if you can tell they're not going to be running items, you do use it as ink, but even then, you can still just put it down. It's just a 2 quest 4/4. You know, sometimes just being a body is enough. So 4 copies of the Beast, 4 copies of Be Our Guest. Obviously, it's a target for Ariel. Plus, it can help. We don't tend to like to play it. We tend to like to be able to just find it and ink it, but we can play it if we really need to dig towards certain pieces. We've got 2 copies of Moana, which is one of the main differences between Steadfast list and Ducky's list. The differences are Ducky runs an extra Hans, who's at the bottom left there, 4 cost, 3/3 with the ability Stage a Little Accident, and you can do 1 chip damage every time he quests with 2 lore pips, so nice and annoying. Help us, you know, again, we have a lot of chip cards, so sometimes that 1 damage makes all the difference. We're only running 3. Ducky runs 4 of those, and Ducky also runs 3 of the Cerebus that we see, the 5 cost, 5/6 with 1 lore pip. That 6 willpower is just really game changing, and I've said this right from the beginning that it was going to be really important to hit 5. So staying out of that 5 that 5 range really does make a difference a lot of the time. But we just run 2. Ducky runs 3. So that's 2 spaces already. We run 2 copy of Moana, which is a Steadfast suggestion, which I do like. 6 willpower, 1 strength, 3 lore pips, and we can fix it. When she quests, you can re-ready all of your princesses. So if you've got Ariel and Rapunzel down on the field, you can quest, then quest Moana and ready them back up to either keep them safe, or then you can have Ariel sing a song, or whatever. Or sometimes you need to challenge in, and again, because we've got Rapunzel's a good target to challenge in because she's got a nice big 5 health, so you challenge in, take 2, 3, 4 damage, and then you put down a second Rapunzel to get some healing off, so lots of plays there. But yeah, slight difference there. We run the 2 Moana, we've talked about Ariel, we've got 4 Smash. Again, we're a chip deck. Sometimes we just want to remove threats from the board, or sometimes we really struggle taking out big bodies, like Ursula's and things with like 5, 6, 7 health. So sometimes you need to do your chip with Tinkerbell and Hans or whatever it is, and then just smash to finish off. 4 Prince Eric, that's our turn 2 put down. We've got Captain Hook for number 1. And then Prince Eric is obviously 2 cost, 1/3, 1 lore pip, also with Challenger 2, so he can become a 3/3 if he's challenging in, which again, we can sit there and just quest, but again, sometimes it does become a stalemate. If we go Hook, they go Archimedes. We go Prince Eric, they go whatever, you know, turn 3, they go Maleficent or whatever. But again, good to have. 2 copies of the Cerebus, which we've talked about. Just that big 6 willpower really is game changing. Grab Your Swords is extremely powerful. Tinkerbell and Hans. So yeah, that is our list. So yeah, the difference, we've gone with Steadfast list. Like I said, the differences are Ducky doesn't run the Moanas and instead runs an extra Hans and an extra Cerebus. And they also run an extra You Have Forgotten Me. Whereas we have the extra Part of Your World, which I do prefer as an extra target for Ariel to hit. And again, it can be really game-changing to just bring back a Tink, bring back a Beast. So, yeah, I've already played about and had a practice with this. I started a brand new account, and I went from Wood to Bronze rank. I lost 1 game in that entire thing. I think I started a brand new account. I had a 9 winning streak. Then I lost 1, and then I won another 1. So we're now in Bronze, so we're going to jump into some games and see how we can pilot this deck. Okay, we're going first for our first game. The thing about this deck as well, like most of my experiences with Ruby Amethyst, it's just a deck that speaks to me. But those games can be really, really long. So yeah, the fact that these can be quicker is a plus. Right, we're going to get rid of Be Our Guest because we want them as targets. for our Ariel, who we will hopefully grab. We'll get rid of Beast for now. We're going to keep Prince Eric as turn 2. I like to keep Rapunzel just because whenever I throw away, I never see her again, and then I really need the draw. Getting 2 Stitch, and that's not a great hand at all, unfortunately. We are just going to wink Stitch here. I've had worse. We do have turn 2 Eric, and then we have turn 3 Ariel, so it could be worse. It could always be worse. We're going to pass up to our opponent. Let's try and pay attention to what they're inking. Okay, so we see a Jafar, the +3. I do like that Jafar for hitting 5. Okay, so we're seeing purple, yellow. So, that being said, I think I kind of value the Cerebrus, purple, yellow. Especially because they're running that Jafar. I think I'm going to hold on to that Cerebrus. Just because I've seen that Jafar, otherwise I might have inked it and kept the Hans. But we're going to make this play. Put down the Eric to hopefully stalemate the Stitch. So they most likely won't quest now, because it will be silly. They want us to quest, really, so that they can get an actual trade. Because if we quest and they put down Lantern. Because if we quest and they go in, they take 1 damage, deal 2, and then if we go into them or they go into us, then it's still an even trade. But because they've quested, I can quite comfortably go in there, because this is now a 2 for 1. Because if they go into me, I've taken both of them out, and if they don't, then I can go into them, and I've still taken them both out. We're probably going to put down Ariel this turn. Could lose another one of these Stitches. We've got 2 more in the deck, and we're quite a way off from being able to use it. We'll throw Cerebrus for now. We have got another one in the deck. And we'll throw down Ariel and hope for a hit. We do get a hit. It really feels bad when you don't get a hit. Really feels bad. And we'll pass over to our opponent. They could technically turn... They could Rockstar Stitch now. They can ink. Oh no, because they have to pay with Lantern. So they wouldn't be able to, would they? They're going to just in time get Goofy onto the field. Okay. That's actually not terrible, because this gives me a Rapunzel play now. I mean, to be fair, I already have a Rapunzel play if they don't challenge here. They are going to challenge. Yeah, I think I'm going to... Oh, no, but you would... Yeah, they played that well, because they would take me out, unfortunately, with that 3. Yeah, that's not great for us, unfortunately. We can smash this Lilo to take the pressure off a little bit. I could still go in here and then Rapunzel. I'd still be drawing 2. I think that's oh no, I can't, obviously there's a bodyguard of that. Not great. Not great at all. I think we just smash here. I think we have to get this off the field. We need to slow them down. And we probably just ink here. It's up to 4. And I think I have to just leave it there, unfortunately. Yeah, not great, but our opponent doesn't have too many resources, so hopefully we have enough time to build up some cards. I'm glad I've kept the Surface Stitch as well. They put down Rafiki. Can't do anything with it yet, so they're probably just double questing here. But yeah, unfortunately, because of that 3 strength, we're not going to be able to get off a Rapunzel play just yet. Which does suck. But that's how it be. I'm going to quest up with Goofy and probably Stitch. Makes sense. We get another Rapunzel, which isn't really what we want to see. We just get rid. And we pass. Yeah, not a great start for us, unfortunately. Always seems to be the way. Whenever I'm playing against this deck, it hits everything it needs, like hook into Eric, into Ariel, into whatever, like absolutely perfectly. But hey, that's how it be. They're going to throw down a Hades, grab themselves back a Lilo, which they can, if they ink something this turn, they can play. They've already used their Lantern. So maybe not yet. Gonna quest up. Yeah, that Goofy is very annoying. It has slowed us down very much. This is better because I can Beast, get rid of this, which will make a difference in this particular game. I don't want to go in now because then that leaves them available to Rafiki and take me out. I would rather next turn go in and then Rapunzel and draw 3. So we're just going to pass. We are going behind in lore, but hopefully we can start to build something back. I didn't ink that turn, which I should have. I don't think I did. No, I don't think I inked. I probably should have inked Smash there, because then that opened up a Stitch turn this turn coming up. So that's me still just getting used to this deck. And I will misplay from time to time. It will happen. But yeah, that just in time there getting the Goofy out really put them ahead. Okay, down come a couple of 1 costs, which I'm quite happy to Tinkerbell next turn. Although I wanted to Rapunzel, so... but it's probably more value to just Tink here. I'd love to... If I'd have had a baby Tink on the field, then that would have made this play even better. But alas, you can't always get what you want. So we're just going to put this down, which will take out Stitch, Lilo, and Maleficent. They're going up to 13 next turn, or they can anyway. Do I want to go in here now? No, I still think I'd rather wait. I need to draw cards. I need to get the Rapunzel play off. Although next turn I could just Stitch and ink the Smash. I'm letting them go quite ahead, which it may have been the right play to just take out the Goofy that turn, but I want to try and get more value. Even though we have like no quest on the board, no lore on the board at all. They are going to fill up again. That's interesting. I think a lot of people get to this point when they're that far ahead in lore, they just get a bit greedy and just kind of like, oh, I need to rush the game quickly before this whole field gets destroyed. Which sometimes is the play, but I think sometimes there's an argument to like holding back your cards and having something then to immediately go into if they do board wipe you. Especially because I've got the Tink here as well. So 4, 5. So I could go Beast, Rapunzel, Tinkerbell. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go Beast here. We're going to Rapunzel to draw 3, heal back up, another Beast or Hans, and a Grab Your Swords. Grab Your Swords is beautiful to pick up there, actually, but it would take everything out. It would leave Dr. Facilier. But, oh, is it just worth it? It's probably worth it. But I can attack here. I do my... No, I think I'm just going to Grab Your Swords. Yeah, I think that just makes more sense. We finally pick up a Grab Your Swords, which is really nice. And I think we will just ink here so that I can put down Stitch next turn. I think that sounds good. And is there an argument to smashing? If you draw Big Daddy Dr. Facilier, then that would be annoying. So I am just going to smash that. Just a little pause to call out my own misplays. What I really could have done here is gone into the Goofy with the Tinkerbell. That would have also allowed me to put 2 damage on this Dr. Facilier, and then I could have grabbed your swords and the board wiped. I wouldn't have then been able to quest, but I would have saved the smash. So there's a strong argument that that was the better play. But moving on. Especially because they're only a 3... I don't think they'd have been able to shift onto Dr. Facilier, actually. But nonetheless, we just completely slowed them down. They would have been able to be fair, not a lot. They have Challenger 2, so they could have gone in. So maybe there was an argument to not smashing there. Maybe that was a misplay. I wasn't looking at their ink. I just assumed that they had enough to be able to top deck Facilier and be able to shift straight onto it. They do pass, so they get a whole lot of nothing, so it does appear that we have managed to catch up, which you'll love to see. We'll just put down the surface stitch. They have no board wipe, so we draw 2, which feels good. And then we are 2 turns from game, I think. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're 2 turns from game. If we had Moana down, then I think it would be game. Yeah, it would be game next turn, because we'd be able to... No, you can't double quest. Well, it would have been game just from the extra lore pips. They get a friends on the other side. They can ink 1 and then put down a 1 cost, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. Definitely not to this turn, but maybe they can change it all next turn. It doesn't seem like it. That's kind of BM. But we're gonna do it anyway. We're trying to demonstrate the cards in this deck, so we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna play You Have Forgotten Me. I don't normally draw it at the right times. I normally have it at the completely inaccurate times. But we're gonna play it. It does put them down to clock, so maybe there was an argument to just leaving it and just questing up for speed. Not sure what they're discarding here. Not sure, but nonetheless, we quest. And we can... No, that's fine. That's fine. That I'm pretty comfortable that is game on the next turn. I'm pretty comfortable. So yeah, it was an okay start, not the best. And the fact that they got that Goofy out nice and quick was... slowed us down a little bit, but we did manage to just build it back. And again, I don't think they helped themselves by overextending, especially into Tink. It may be that they're a newer player, and that's just a lack of knowledge of that deck. Okay, we're going to jump into a game here. We're going first. Always seem to see all these songs in my opening hand. Not what I want. We do get Aerial, which is okay. We'll keep the Smash as well and put everything else back. Of course, we draw straight into another Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. I think we're just going to ink Hakuna Matata. We do have our 1-drop in Captain Hook, which is lovely to see. We're going to pass over to our opponent. We're going to ink a Frying Pan. I think that might be the first time I've seen one of them. Maybe. Potentially. But they are playing silver, that means. So silver-purple. Okay. So we need to be conscious of Whole New World. They might not be running it because purple is card draw. So maybe they're not. But we need to be aware of it at the very least. I'd like to keep that to try and look for Big Tink if I can. I think we're just going to ink Hans here. And we'll put down Eric. And I'm quite happy to quest because you can't take me out with Olaf. So that'll do. Obviously, when you see purple, you need to bear in mind Rafiki. But that won't be happening until at least turn 3. But yeah, the Frying Pan. Interesting. I can't even remember off the top of my head what it does. Okay, they're going to ink a Maleficent. Took a lot of thought from them, so... They're down to their time limit already, so... Make a move, my friend. Make a move. Looks like they might... I don't know if that was intentional or not. Who knows? Either way... I think I am going to get rid of Be Our Guest here, I think. I mean, it's really valuable to find the Big Tink. Maybe I just ink Smash. Yeah, I think we're going to ink Smash, actually. And then we'll put down an Aerial and hope for a hit. Once again, I do not get a hit. Feels so bad. Feels so incredibly bad, but... There you go. Just a quick editor's note in case you're wondering why I'm so annoyed I missed that Aerial. I've cut out a game in between these two games here. I've only cut it because it went like 45 minutes long. It was against Ruby Amethyst Control. I did lose. I'm happy to show games of me losing. I've only cut it just because otherwise this video would have ended up way too long. But yeah, I missed with Aerial twice and I was pretty salty about it. So that's why I'm very salty about this one. You're going to ink a Break. It's interesting. I'm not sure Break is worth it. I would just stick with the Beasts. I know you can play Break for cheaper, but I think by the time items become relevant, like mirrors and shields and stuff like that, it's normally a bit later into the game. But it might be working for them. They're going to quest up with Olaf. So maybe they did mean to just not do anything else on that last turn. didn't have anything they could play. They inked and they wanted to stay ready to not get taken out, which makes all the sense. Do I want to go in with Hook here now? I might do. Purple Silver, so we've got to expect their own swords and stuff like that. Is it worth just playing Be Our Guest this turn? Or do I just want to ink it? I've got a Tinkerbell I could ink. Let's play it. We'll take another Eric. I think that's fine. We'll ink this Tink. And then we'll do it this way. Because if I'd have challenged with Eric, that would have put him in range to get banished by Maleficent, which is not what we want. We are going to hold the Eric, because again, they're bound to have their own grab your swords and things like that, so I'm not against putting something else on the board, but I'd like a little bit more of a hand first, especially when they've got such a big hand. Obviously, they're just waiting for their chance to pop off, which is fine. Put down Rafiki. There you go. It's fair. I respect it. Yeah. That's a nice trade for them. Well, I say trade. They don't trade. As in, they're going to get more value out of it, basically. Yeah, they get a nice momentum turn there. And again, we're down to not many cards, so I don't know. Like, this deck worked really well for me in my climb out of wood to bronze, but I don't know. Sometimes it just seems if it doesn't get going, it just doesn't get going. We didn't have a terrible opening hand. Not hitting the song off Ariel sucked, but hey, that's how it be. We're going to put in another Ariel. We need to start working towards more cards. I think we're just going to... Are we just going to ink Hakuna Matata, or do we need to look for Big Tink? I think we need to look for Big Tink. Otherwise, I think we're just kind of ruined. Like, Big Tink now would be sensational. But I can't even put this down this turn. I guess make them be the one to quest at the very least. I can go in here because I will survive it, and then yeah. So I get a 2 for 1 out of Prince Eric to say that like yeah, it evens out to a degree. I want to ink here. No, I think I want to hold it all, to be honest. I could smash this just to save the Eric. I think I'd rather wait. Let's just pass there. Doesn't feel the cleanest. They've only drawn 1 card as well. There's another 2 off of Friends. Pay for it the old-fashioned way, because they're definitely going to go in here. They've likely got more Rafikis as well, so it's a nice counter to this deck. There's a fire your cannons. Unless they're going to ink something here and then play another one. Yep, so they do just go into Prince Eric, make that trade. And that's all from them. I think we just put down Tink here. Because I can see them Rafikiing next turn. Again. To get a nice trade out of that. And then it'd be really nice to find our Big Tink. Do I want to do this just so I can play Be Our Guest this turn? Or do I want to hold it? Do I need to hold it as a big body? I think we'll hold it. Probably should have played it, actually, the more I'm thinking about it, because now if I don't top Tink, there's no, I can't Be Our Guest and shift on the same turn. I'm expecting to see a Rafiki come down here. Especially because they fired the cannons. Although maybe not, maybe they just wanted to get the full value of their ink for the turn. They are holding 7 cards to our 4 and 2 on the field. Down goes a Magic Mirror. So seeing those beasts about now would be very nice. naturally, we have none. But if they don't do anything else here, then I probably am safe to just be our guest and then quest here. And okay, we do hit the big tink, which is... I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. I really want to find the beast, though. So I think I'm going to sing this with Ariel. We do find it. That's really nice. So now I can do that. And get that magic mirror out of here. We do not want you starting to build hand control. We could see a Rafiki to go into this, but I would survive it. And then I can tink the next turn to finish them off. And again, I need to start... we need to... Like, generally, that's what this deck really wants to do. It just wants to outvalue and just win quicker. Because the longer the game goes, it can get quite dodgy, unfortunately. They put down a hook. And they're going to ink a beast mirror. Which makes sense that they don't feel like they're going to be lowering their hand size enough to get value from it yet. They put down Simba. Not too keen on this Simba. I think if you got, I really like the other one, the Challenger 4 one that can hit up to 8, but yeah, not a big fan of this Simba. Yeah, you gain a lot though. You don't take any from me. So I've got Big Tink for next turn. Right, so we're going to do that. And that. And I'm still a bit worried about Whole New World. I have concerns, so I think we're going to put down Cerebrus. And do I want to ink Smash? Probably do at this point. At this point in the game, I'm probably fine with it. Okay, so we'll keep Tinkerbell safe because I want to be able to shift and then immediately challenge next turn. Especially if they... I feel like what they might do here is they might hook into Beast, which obviously takes them out, but then Simba into Beast, which they survive, and then they take out the Beast, and then they get their extra lore. I feel like that's what they want to do. But then they're down to 1 willpower, and the big Tink comes in. Okay, so now they can just go hook into that. Takes him... okay, they do just do that. That's also fine. So, because now they can go hook into Ariel, which does take them out as well. Okay, they put down the Musketeer to Bard, which I do quite like, but we don't see any bodyguarders yet. They do just quest. Okay. That's fine with me. We're just going to big Tink here. Nice big damage. And we'll go in with Cerebrus, I think. Yeah, we'll just go with Cerebrus. We'll challenge here. We'll challenge here. And then next turn I might go into Stitch. I might just ink this here. Or I might just put it down, to be honest. No, let's ink it so then we can Stitch next turn. Putting them off a Whole New World, probably, hopefully a little bit. But then again, if they just don't have... Even if I've got no cards... if my board state is better and then it's looking like they're going to lose, then it's still always worth playing. So might as well just empty the hand. I could have just put down the hook, but I would potentially like to be able to Stitch next turn, and there's no guarantee that whatever I draw next turn will be something that I also want to ink. I might want to keep it. Throw down a T-Car, who I do quite like. I think this one is much more worth playing than that Simba, because that Simba's uninkable, and it's only 1, whereas this gaining 2 can be a bit more of a swing. Yeah, we're just going to put down Stitch here, draw our 2 cards, we get a double grab your swords. Do I just ink this? I'm going to go there. and there. And do I want to just... No, I don't. I think I just want to wait and be our guest. I don't really need to go to 8 though. I can just play it next turn and find something I want to play. I don't want to get rid of that. Let's pass there. That's fine. We're threatening game next turn anyway. Even if they take out both the Cerebus and the Aerial, we have... No, we don't. Oh, sorry, for a minute I thought this was 3 pips, but it's not. It's 2. So yeah, they have to take out both of these to deny us taking game next turn. So yeah, not the smoothest, but I think we've gotten there. And again, like the whole purpose of this deck, just to outvalue the opponent. Like again, being able to see and grab your Swords of Aerial by turn 4 for free is really game changing. Yeah, like this deck is definitely one that I recommend everyone at least try out, even if it's not your cup of tea, just so you know how to play against it, and you know its weaknesses. Because that's part of the reason I picked it up, because I just kept losing to it, and I've made adjustments to my Ruby Amethyst list to kind of be a bit better against this deck. I won't report on it until I feel like I've completed those changes and feel like they're definitely worth making. But yeah, as soon as a top deck comes along, you have to immediately say, okay, well, how am I beating that top deck? But yeah, they are going to trade there. They get the T card back because of Dr. Facilier, but unfortunately, they have no ink left to do anything else, so we are just going to be able to quest up to 20 this turn, just like so. So there you go. You can see how this deck, you know, like it can struggle against big bodies, like stuff with big willpower. But it can deal with them, with the combination of the smashes, the tink challenging for the extra 2, the grab your swords. It can do it, and it just wants to outvalue and just pace and just win quicker than allowing other decks a chance to like get off and do what they want to do. So yeah, really strong deck. The link to the video there is a video that Steadfast did with Ducky talking all about this deck in a lot more detail than I've gone into. So if you really want to know the ins and outs of this deck, I would highly recommend checking that out. It will be linked below. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please do hit the like button and subscribe if you're brand new, and we'll see you soon.